I joined the Plainsboro Rescue Squad right after my mom and I had been in New York, and a car had jumped the curb and brought down some scaffolding, and a lot of people had been injured. I didn't know what to do. Not knowing what to do is really kind of scary. The only thing I could do is just sit there and hold the one man's hand until medical help came. When I came home, I tried to find out a number to call and joined the rescue squad. I wanted knowledge.
I've been with the squad since, I think it's been around a year, close to a year, yeah. And I actually just went through EMT school a couple of months ago, graduated August. And I initially joined because as a student, I had a lot of spare time and I wasn't really committed to something bigger than myself, and now the squad is something I spend a lot of time participating in.
So you can put your hands around the outside when he does that while he's still securing?
Yeah. I've been a member of the Plainsboro Rescue Squad for the last 9 months now, and I first became interested around 2 years back at an event called Founders Day, where I took a tour of the ambulance, and ever since then I've been fascinated with what they do here, and I've wanted to join ever since.
1, 2, 3. Right. Let's go.
Okay, which way? Go that way?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Since Harshit's going to be working with supervision of EMTs, I think he passed. However, the things that you missed where we had to kick the collar back towards you.
Yep.
So you forgot that the collar goes on first, but you caught yourself.
When you're struggling with something, always ask for help. Always.
I've been in the squad, this is my 3rd year in the squad. And surprisingly, the reason I decided to join was just on a whim. I had really never thought through this. In fact, the decision was so arbitrary that my wife never spoke to me for 3 months because it was unilateral. But it's been a sea change after that, and I've had the most support from her and the family. It was on a whim. I just saw the brochure in the library when I took my children to play chess in the public library.
Make as much room as we can to work.
If this is furniture, you can always move it. All right, so when we go to a house, for example, if she's in a room, first thing we do, make space for 3 people to work with a patient, regardless of whatever is happening to the patient.
I've been a member for about 3 years and a half, if I remember correctly, and I decided to join a little bit on a whim. I mean, I had passed the sign many, many times, like right down the street, and I saw the sign, volunteers needed, and I was like, oh, maybe I should do that. And then one day at the opening of the hospital, they were doing a blood pressure check, and that's when I put in my application.
So yes, always make sure you check if there's anything else that they might have hurt. We checked the back, so that was good. But once again, the breathing in the end. So it's generally just make sure you keep asking questions.
I've been a member of the squad for a little more than a year, and I decided to join because I thought it'd be fun and I wanted to learn more about what to do in emergency situations.
Joining the squad was not at all what I expected. I wanted to help out. I wanted to help the community. I've been a community member of Plainsboro for my whole life, and I've never really given back in a direct way. So I wanted to find something that I could do that I could really sink my teeth into. When I joined the squad, I didn't realize I'd be making a whole bunch of new friends in addition to giving back to a cause that I enjoyed.
I've been a member for 15 years. Originally, I had planned to join for 2, but I got hooked.
Wasabi. All right, then why don't you study the rig part, mod 1, mod 2, I think, and then we'll talk about that. Yep.
Many years ago, the squad was desperately short of people, not enough people to handle calls. And my daughter had become a cadet. She decided to take on recruiting and recruited me. I was looking for something new to do. I used to fly aircraft. I was looking for a different hobby. I wasn't able to do that anymore. And this I thought I would do for a little while, but I fell in love with it, and it's now just who I am. About 14 years I've been doing this and loving every year of it.
Central 101's responding. Hey guys, it's a cardiac call. I need you guys to prepare the stretcher. Jump kit, AED, suction, CPR board just in case.
Got it.
Ever since I've been in the squad, I've definitely become more mature. We're all treated the same no matter what age you are. You're expected to be just as responsible as an adult member, especially when you're at an actual emergency.
It has definitely given me a perspective on 2 things. One is being much more attuned and aligned to the community. I do feel very close to the community. I think I do work that the community appreciates. And at a personal level, what it has done for me is it's helped my boys, I have 2 young boys, 13 and 10, look up to me. It's that wonderful age where they don't look up to fathers, it's that adversarial age. And that has helped me a lot. I've gained, I think, in a lot of esteem with my own children.
Being a member of the squad has really changed how I see myself as a citizen of Plainsboro. Because before, the only exposure I had was at town events, but again, being a part of the town and being a part of what makes that happen has really changed how I see things around town.
Rig checks must be more consistent. We've had a few occasions where we've gone in the jump kits or gone in the truck and something's missing. Please be very careful on your rig checks. When you identify equipment failure, this is for everybody, please, please, please don't just call or mention when I happen to be here that you found an equipment failure. Issue a special report.
Joining the rescue squad was so much more than what I ever expected it would be. It's not just going out and helping people, which is a really great upper in itself, but you have a whole group of friends here. It's a regular community.
Being a member has been absolutely rewarding and well worth it. And it is all the more worth it because what I really now see is my family appreciates it. So it is not a question of, I want more time with you. I think you're doing a great job. Keep at it.
Who's paying?
I am.
You are?
But for the work that I do and the satisfaction that I get and they get, and the first question my children actually ask me when I get home is, Dad, how many calls? And if I say 2, 3, which ones were they? So that's a different conversation. So they give up a little bit of what they used to have, they got used to, for something totally different, which they're really enjoying. So we all gain from it.
The squad is not just a squad. It's not just a group of people going out on 911 calls helping people. It's a family. I gained a brand new family when I joined.
Actually, cadets are not expected to do night shifts since we're around the ages of 16, 17. But there have been a lot of instances where I've been at the squad where I could have been spending some time with my friends, but I would definitely say it's worth it.
It is definitely worth losing sleep to be able to go out and to do something where you've impacted somebody's life in a positive manner, to be there at their worst moment and help.
The late night shifts and all the hours put into this have absolutely been worth it because there's nothing I'd rather be doing and there's nothing better to do with my time than this.
The time I spend here is among my most valuable time. Sure, I love my family, but I've always valued and appreciated the time I get to spend here. People love to spend time here.
It is worth it to me because of the experiences I get riding on the ambulance. I miss a lot of sleep, but in the end I think it's worth it because I get to help people out.
Central 169 is responding, Mifflin Lane.
Definitely going on my first call has been one of the biggest highlights, especially since I did not know what to expect. And also being a part of the Cadet Corps, since there's a lot of people my age and I've gotten to know a lot of great people.
In my career, it's been a 20+ long year career, and I've had reasonable success and I've learned a lot. And I wanted to do something totally different from the norm. And this gave me that opportunity. And this is an opportunity where I can actually do something which I do diametrically opposite of what I do at work.
We got to save a patient who was in respiratory failure. So basically had to help them breathe and got them to the hospital and learned afterwards that they made it. These are some of the things that, stay with you.
Work is very structured, very cloistered to some extent. It's all external, but when you come here, it's very different. You're dealing with life and death. There is a tremendous rush. There's a lot depending on you, and it's very different. So when I go back to work on a Monday morning and somebody tells me, this is life and death, I say, you don't know what you're talking about. 6, 7, 8,
2,
15, 16, 17,
1 minute from
5, 6, 9, 10,
3 sets, change.
15, 16,
But revenue was doing okay, but he maintains the overall white breath. Take your hands, you can see the breath.
2, 3.
After thousands of calls of helping people, what I really find the most gratifying of my time here has been the people I've helped who are members of the squad, the training of others, the helping people through other problems, whether it be squad related or not. The friendships, the camaraderie, and the things I've done for others have been my highlight at this squad.
Your score is? 78%.
My breaths, I think.
Okay.
The Founders Day parade, when we walked in the streets with the ambulance and the siren and the lights running and everything, and everyone was waving to us, I thought that was pretty cool. Made me proud to be part of the squad.
One memory that sticks out from my time at the squad was my first tour of the ambulance. So use some turnout gear for kind of motor vehicle accidents. So here's a trauma bag, which contains most of the stuff we're going to need for big incidents.
Okay.
So just tank there, some trauma dressings, and one of the most important things in here. If you have a bunch of patients, meaning like more than 3, these go on each one just to kind of rank them in terms of priority. It was at the same event that I first took my tour, and being on the other side of that was a really nice experience. I showed some younger kids, maybe 10 or 12, some around the age that I was when I first took the tour, and I showed them around the rig and pointed out some of the equipment, which when I first took the tour I had no idea how it worked. So just using this as a measure of my progress and being on the other side of that was a nice experience. Box of 8x10 dressings, and the exact number doesn't really matter. It's just there should be enough to get you through a call. And the sizes, I guess the sizes can be kind of important because a 4x4 versus a 5x9 versus an 8x10 can be 2 different things.
Knowing what to do in emergencies and having people who are there to help you through. When you first begin, you think you know so much after you take your exam and you've passed, you've got your nice new shiny paper in your hand. But the very first advice someone gave me when I jumped on the rig was, we're going on Route 1. Remember, there's traffic.
I had to do first aid on my own son when he was playing a soccer game. I had to help out on 3 occasions on an airplane when I was flying for work outside of my uniform. So, and I do remember the first time I actually helped somebody outside the uniform was in Pittsburgh. He was a veteran who was coming out of the Veterans Affairs office. He passed out in front of us. He was having a cardiac. So I actually started CPR on him before the bus actually arrived. So I've had opportunity.
Medically, I always carry a bag with me. I've been on my motorhome in Delaware when an accident happened in front of me and I came to the aid. I've been in my car, I've been in my office. People, every place I've worked have known if there's a medical problem, somebody go find Brian, and I'm usually to be found and can grab my gear. Always found use for what I do here, whether it's just my social skills, my medical skills, or my people skills.
The time commitment has definitely been worth it. I've gained a lot of new skills through being part of the squad. I've made a lot of new friends, people that I never would have met if I hadn't joined this organization. So I love being here, I love the people I've met, and I love what we do.
In my personal life, I've used some skills I learned in the squad in helping out my grandma. So she recently got knee replacement surgery, and using my skills as an EMT, I was able to explain to my mom what the doctor was telling her, because my mom doesn't really understand what's going on. So it was nice for me to be able to be like the liaison between the doctor and my grandma and my mom.
EMS.
One of the skills that I've really seen myself develop in is my ability under pressure. And situations that I feel like I would collapse in before I joined, I feel perfectly comfortable in, because really that's something you have to do in these emergency situations, and that's something I've kind of adapted to my normal life.
What people may not know about the squad is that we do so much more than taking calls. If we just took calls, we wouldn't be able to. We have to fundraise, we have to do social events, we have to do community events, we have to do, we have to stock our vehicles, we have to make sure they're in good shape to take those calls. So essentially what we see on calls is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we have to do to stay alive as an organization.
It's been a great year. You may have read this, that West Orange recently failed. They've shut down. We know West Windsor failed. I guess it's not good to be west of anything. We know other squads around us are desperate for people, and we are doing terrific. It's been a great year. Performance is high, crews are high, money is good. I mean, this has been an amazing year for this squad. Everything is positive and terrific.
We're funded exclusively from various forms of donations. The township does make a donation. It's not enough to operate the squad. We also send out a mailer to the residents asking for donations. Every time we transport somebody, we ask them to fill out a satisfaction survey, see if they like how we did things or if they have any suggestions, and we also ask for a donation.
In addition, we get donations from the corporate organizations in town and outside of town. This helps us pay for things like a new truck, or uniforms, or training, or education.
I didn't know that before I joined. I thought that the squad got tax money, so I thought they'd have this super nice building with these incredibly state-of-the-art ambulances, but that wasn't the case. So when they told me that they only ran off donations, I was surprised, because they were able to fund a new ambulance that we got just off of like donations and grants, which was really impressive to me, that we've been able to maintain the squad for so long just off of donations.
I wish there was a way we could let all of the people around us know that your next door neighbor is the EMT on the squad. The person who is in the law office is an EMT on the squad.
Most people don't know that we actually respond to real life emergencies where you're expected to be just as mature as an adult, even though you might not be as old as them.
One thing that I've noticed that some people don't seem to recognize about the squad is that we do attend actual emergencies. And a lot of people believe that just because we're volunteers, that somehow undermines what we do and makes it a bit less important. But we take up the role of paid EMTs, and we deal with the same situations. And yeah, this is a real thing that we're doing. It's not a club, it's not an act. These are real situations and real people doing it.
We run a tight ship here, and we are very proud of the quality of work we do. So we actually spend a lot of time looking at what we do. How can we improve? So from the outside, you will never really realize that these bunch of volunteers actually take their jobs very seriously. And full credit to my chief, he runs a ship where he really focuses on quality. So we try to do our very best without any external pressure. So we put the pressure on ourselves. People outside don't see that. They see an ambulance that shows up, but the level of training, the constant re-engineering that we do within ourselves to keep getting better, actually provides a quality of service and care to the public, general public around, which I don't think they realize.
People don't realize when they're not a member of the squad is the amount of work that is involved in running a squad beyond going to the calls. People see us, getting out with the ambulance, but we have to work to keep the ambulance stocked. We have to train. There's a lot of things that go into making that squad run and making us able to help the community.
Most people don't realize that there is no practical alternative to a volunteer organization. It takes a lot of people to run a volunteer organization. We have 3 ambulances. There are times I need to get out 3 ambulances. There's nobody is going to pay 3 crews to hang around for the rare instance that all 3 need to go out at once. But should a train derail, a bus overturn, we can get out 50 people if we have to, because I've got 1 crew for every night of the week, and I can get them all out on a serious emergency. There's no alternative to that in the suburbs. In the big cities, I can have large fire companies, I can have multiple EMS districts covering each other's territory. In the suburbs, that's not practical. So it requires a volunteer organization to staff the less frequent need when you need more than 1 ambulance.
Like any family, there are differences of opinions and styles, little quirks, but at the end of the day, what really matters is our uniform and our mission. And that really brings a tremendous sense of bonding. And especially when we see each other outside of the squad in a public place, we hug each other, we're very close to each other. And so that is a very special bonding, which I think I'm actually very grateful to have found. I wouldn't have found this if I hadn't come here.
When my late husband had the beginning of medical issues, the squad was there for me. They rallied around. Just having them there and knowing they were there was just a very comforting feeling.
People of different backgrounds, different ages, different walks of life, and I honestly never thought I'd be such close friends with such different types of people.
One of the things that surprised me the most when I joined the squad is that I found a family. there are people I can call at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I know they will be there to help me if I need it.
A lot of the people at the squad are some of my closest friends, and they're people I just met 9 months ago. So doing something like this is something that really brings people together faster than they normally would in other circumstances.
I love the interaction, the camaraderie, the opportunities to teach, the opportunity to accomplish things with others is something that just is beyond any other thing I enjoy doing. And then I can always go to work the next day and say, last night I saved someone's life. How was your evening?